there, my name is Janet, and today I'm going to guide you through a chair yoga practice. So to get started, grab a chair, and almost any chair will do, one that you can move, because for part of the practice it will be oriented in one direction, and then there may be a time when you want to be able to move it around. Some other things I recommend before we get started is usually yoga is done with bare feet. So if you've got shoes on or socks on, you might be more comfortable with no shoes. Or socks, so you're not slipping. The chair where it's placed, you want to try pushing on it a little bit. Make sure that it doesn't move too much, because that's going to be your stability. So get yourself set up, maybe put me on pause, and then come back to it when you're ready. Okay, before we begin, let's understand some of the benefits and who chair yoga is good for. It's really good for everyone and anyone. Some of us have some limited mobility, perhaps some replacement surgery, hips, knees, not at all uncommon today. And then anybody who's working through maybe some balance challenges, vertigo, sometimes I have vertigo, and having your hand on a chair can help with any dizziness and make you feel stable. Some of the benefits of doing this type of practice are that it's great for stress, de-stress, with a little bit of chair yoga with me, and also increased range of motion and improvement in balance. So let's get started standing. And if you stand to the side of your chair and have one hand holding the chair for stability, place your other hand on top of your heart. And then if you feel comfortable doing so, close your eyes, and we'll just be standing here with our eyes closed for a little while. So close your eyes. And in closing your eyes, if you're comfortable doing that, it helps you to draw your awareness inside. And once drawing your awareness inside, you do this by noticing your body. Notice sensations in your body. Beginning with the feet, notice how your feet are connected to the mat or the floor. Move up your body and feel strong in your legs. Notice how your shoulders are stacked above your hips. Feel strong in your abdominals. Maybe you notice how the one hand touching your heart is connected to your clothing, and the other hand resting on the chair is maybe grabbing or gripping a little bit to hold on. Maintain the connection with the chair, but soften your hand. Roll your shoulders down and back and feel that opening your heart space. And relax the muscles of your face. Take a moment to think about your heart's desire. What do you want for your life, for yourself? Are you seeking some peace? Maybe expanding your capacity for love. What is your heart's desire today? And then let's expand our heart's desire into setting an intention. Setting an intention, acting as if what you want is already there. For example, my intention is to be at peace. I am peaceful. What is your intention? Perhaps you even say it out loud. And then take a deep breath in and breathe that intention into your heart space. And then open your mouth wide and expel the air out and send that intention out into the room you are practicing in. Again, take a deep breath in. Breathe that intention into every cell of your body. Really feel it, powerful intention. And then open your mouth and exhale that intention out. Maybe now you breathe that intention really into your mind. Believe it to be true. And then open your mouth and exhale the air out. Now seal your lips and breathe slowly in and out of your nose. Maybe release your hand down to your side. And as we move through the practice, bring your awareness back to that intention from time to time. And I will draw your awareness back to your intention. from moment to moment. And now blink your eyes open. And perhaps you turn toward your chair and take the chair, the back of the chair into your hands, into both hands. Now let's work on our stance in what we call mountain pose. And that's rolling your shoulders down and back. Maybe lift your chin a little bit off your chest, tuck your tail slightly under, and pull your belly in. And just take a few breaths here, noticing how it feels to stand up tall. And if you feel comfortable doing so, take one of your arms and reach it high over your head. If you're really tight in the shoulder, maybe you reach your hand forward instead. Reaching up, take 2 slow, deep breaths in and out of your nose with one hand extended overhead. And then slowly lower that hand down to your chair for support. And take your other hand and reach it high overhead. Check in with the shoulders. Relax your shoulder down from your ear. And holding here, maybe take 2 more slow, deep breaths. And then lower your hand back down to your chair. Now maybe your feet are separated, or maybe your feet are turned slightly closer to each other. Either way, let me ask you to look down at your feet and allow the outer edges of your feet to be parallel to one another. Feet separated or feet together. Then bring your gaze back up, breathe in, and as you exhale, we'll move into a forward fold. Holding onto your chair, go only as far as you can. Maybe your hands lower down to the chair and you fold even deeper. Or some of you practicing chair yoga might have a great deal of forward fold flexibility. So adapt the posture to meet your needs. For example, you might step away from the chair so that you can fold a little bit deeper. Maybe your forehead rests on the chair, or you can go further and grab lower onto the chair. Please take care of your body in your choice of forward fold. So whatever you've chosen, slowly come back up. Breathe in to find length. Maybe soften your knees, it's easier for your body, and then breathe out to fold forward. Once you get to your version of a forward fold, take 3 slow breaths here. Let your head hang heavy. Feel the softness in your lower back. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs. If you're really tight, please bend your knees and create a little more space. And then maintaining control by holding on to the chair, rise back up. If you feel stable, reach one hand or both hands overhead. Take 3 breaths here, slow and deep. In and out of your nose if you can. If you struggle with allergies, breathe out of your mouth. It's okay. Always do what's best for you. And then fold forward. So as we move through our practice today, it's most important that you feel your body and you do the practice in a way that feels good. If you're recovering from a surgery, or maybe just working out some physical therapy, please be sure to check with your doctor before doing any sort of exercise. And then slowly make your way back up. We're going to step back from the chair if you're not already there and do more what's called a flat back. So depending on how far forward you can bend, and please remember to bend your knees, you'll start to reach forward. Now for some of you, this might be felt like downward facing dog. So you're getting a stretch or a halfway lift. Holding onto your chair, let me ask you to bend your knees and drop your belly and lift your gaze. We would call this cow pose. As you exhale, you're going to round your spine, draw your chin to your chest, and push your back toward the ceiling. And that's called cat. Sort of resembles a scaredy cat on Halloween. Everybody's body is different. Some of you might find you lower your hands a little bit more. As long as you feel stable, you're doing it right. And some of you might find very little movement in the spine. For example, just a little like that. You can see me. And some of you might find more depth in the stretch. So give it a go, try it on your own. As you inhale, drop your belly and lift your gaze. It's okay to bend the elbows, that might help, bend the knees. And as you exhale, round the spine like a scaredy cat on Halloween. Cat pose. Do this 3 more times. Breathe in, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Breathe out, round the spine, push your back, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Let's start to come back to that neutral spine and walk forward. Now as you walk forward, I want to encourage you to hold on to your chair, roll your shoulders down and back, feel stable or grounded through the bottoms of your feet. Roll your shoulders down and back and look up and take a little back bend. If it's too much, don't do it. If it makes you feel dizzy, just stand neutral. Come back to neutral, breathe in, and as you exhale, go back to that backward bend. See if you can hold, looking up at the ceiling. If it hurts your neck, draw your chin to your chest. If it feels good, go a little further back, holding on to the chair, trusting your foundation and your attachment to the chair. And then come back up. Good. We're going to challenge ourselves with a little more stretch in Warrior 1. You're standing close to the chair, most likely, most of us, and take your left foot, lift it up, and step into the back of your yoga mat, or just behind you on the floor. Now, as you lunge into the front knee, right knee, try to align your right knee over your right ankle. You can see how that is. If your right knee is pushed beyond your right ankle, you're putting undue strain on the right knee. So pull it back or take a longer lunge. So as you lunge into this pose, you have some choices. You want to try to pull the right hip back, left hip forward. The back heel is against the floor. If the back heel is not touching the floor, just step your foot forward until it can. The toes are just slightly turned inward. So you'll make your choice, lunging deep, roll your shoulders down and back. We're holding this for quite a while, so please feel free to come out of it early if you need to. Those of you that feel like you want to add a challenge, I invite you to take your right arm and reach it overhead. Maybe take a few breaths with your right hand lifted, and then lower your right arm, and take your left arm and lift it overhead. Take a couple breaths there, and then placing your hand down only if you feel stable, only if you feel safe. Perhaps you can lift both arms high. Please be mindful and take care of yourself. Let's take one more full breath in. Stay for your breath out. And on your inhale, lower your hands to the chair for stability. Push off the left foot and step forward. Ready for side 2? For side 2, you step your right foot back. Step it back as far as you can remember doing the left foot. So whatever we do on one side, we want to match it on the second side. Check in with your left knee, look down, make sure your left knee is either aligned directly over your left ankle or behind the left ankle, but not beyond the ankle. That puts strain on your knee joint. Your back foot is pushed to the mat, turned in. Sometimes I like to think of the back foot as pointing, for example, the right foot to the upper right corner of the mat. And I'm trying to push my heel down. If your heel doesn't come down, just work on maybe stepping the foot forward a little bit, or maybe for your anatomy, that's just how it's going to be for you, and that's okay. Take care of yourself. Now, once you arrive, you'll try to pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. It can be a challenge, and then stay there for a few breaths. Perhaps you're holding on to the chair. Now, some of you might feel like you wanted to add the challenges you did on the first side. The front left leg is the first arm that lifts, so take your left arm overhead. If this is difficult, you can always reach your arm forward. See if you can hold there just a little longer. And then lower your left arm, and let's do the other side. Your gaze is forward, and the right arm lifts up. Take a couple of breaths in that stance. Can you feel what we're doing here? We're strengthening the muscles in our legs and working on extension in the upper body by reaching the arm overhead. If you can stay with me just a little longer, and if you tried it on the first side, take the full expression, feel stable, feel grounded, and maybe reach both arms overhead. Please be safe, do what's best for your body, always. That's the most important thing about yoga, that you acknowledge your own body and take care of yourself. When you're ready to come out of it, fingertips come to the chair and you step forward. Nicely done. Are you ready to add a challenge to that? Let's see, what have I got for you next? A balanced posture. Please hold on to the chair. We'll do this twice. The first time we'll do the most stable version, and then the second time, if you feel ready, you can challenge yourself to go stronger. So let me ask you to step back to that forward fold, halfway lift variation as best you can. You kind of reach forward. Now adjust for your body. Maybe you need to come forward more. Some of you might want to stretch out as far as possible. I'll do kind of halfway. So I'm going to lean down. I'm looking forward. My head is lifted. Let's shift to the right foot and take the left leg and lift it behind you. Now your foot might lift just a couple inches off the mat. You may want to keep it touching the mat. It's your time. It's your choice. If you can lift it all the way and you feel stable doing that, do so. Some of you might lower your body a little bit. Take care of yourself. The back foot is turned inward, so it points down toward the mat. And then let's lower that foot. Okay, so now the left foot is the foundation. It's on the mat. We're going to lift the right leg, maybe just a couple inches if that was your choice. We're holding on firmly with both hands for stability. Perhaps your leg lifts a little bit more. Match side one and side two. If you feel like dipping down, just bend your elbows and lower. Have a firm grip on your chair that's not wavering or moving. Your back lifted, right leg, foot is flexed. Keep breathing and then come all the way up and let's step forward. Give your body a little counter stretch. Roll your shoulders down and back, lift your gaze and bend backward. And then come back up. Round two, if you want to try it, it's challenging, but you're welcome to give it a go. We're going to step back as far as feels appropriate for you. I'm going to take a stronger version this time and go a little further back so that my arms can stay straight as I lean back. I'll shift to the right foot, keep my gaze lifted, working on focusing on one thing that's unwavering. In yoga, we call that a drishti focus. And then as I shift to my right foot, I'll lift my left leg. Now I might try, only if I feel really calm and stable and I'm breathing easy, to lift one hand. And then maybe try lifting the other hand. And then I'll bring both hands down and lower my left leg. Second side, shift to the left leg, lift the right leg. Steady focus and steady breathing. Here I'll lift my left hand first, maybe it stays flat toward the earth, and then I bring it down, hold on tight, lift my right leg, and then bring it down and begin to step forward. Whew, that was intense. That posture is called Warrior 3, and it helps us to work on balance. Let's try another posture called Pyramid Pose, or Intense Side Stretch. So what that means is pyramid pose is going to be very stretchy. So as you stand close to your chair, facing the back of the chair, you'll step your left foot back, keep your right leg straight. It's okay to bend it a little or a lot, and you're simply going to fold forward. Just like in Warrior 1, you're trying to pull the right hip back, left hip forward as you fold forward. Take a few breaths here. We'll do this 2 times so you'll be able to deepen the stretch. Be mindful that you're not pressing the front knee back. There's a softness to the knee, but the leg is as straight as possible. And then lift up, step forward, and let's do the second side. Now the right foot steps back, it's firm. The left leg now straightens. I pull my left hip back, right hip forward, and then simply lean forward. Notice where you feel the stretch the most in your body. Most of us, it's going to be behind that front leg. For now, it's the left leg. Check in with your body. Make sure you're breathing slowly and deeply. Hold on. Feel stable. And then lift and step forward. Can we try that one more time? So you're standing with your hips square to the chair for pyramid pose or intense side stretch. Step your left foot back, maybe go a little further if you're feeling it, and maybe trust yourself. Try to keep your back flat and lower a little more. Maybe carefully you bring your hands down to the lower part of the chair. Go as far as feels right for your body. Keep pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. Some of you might be able to lower even further, or maybe you have the other side of the chair, the seat, close to you, and you rest your forehead on the seat. Lift your gaze, step forward. Woo! Second side, here we go. Right foot steps back. My foot is located just like it was for Warrior One. Heel pushed down, toes pushed in. Pressed, pointed inward. Straighten the front leg and stretch down over that front leg. Keep pulling the left hip back, and remember how far you went on the first side, and try to go the same distance of stretch on the second side, lowering your body as much as feels appropriate for you. And then lift your gaze and step forward. Nice. Before we come to seated, I want to challenge you to try one more balance pose. Of course, hold on to your chair. Let me ask you to take your right foot and plant it next to the chair, facing sideways like I am. As you shift to the right foot, turn your left foot out. Boop. Your left foot can connect to your ankle, or some of you might bring it up to your calf. Please be careful that you do not put your left foot against your right knee. It feels like a perfect fit, but it's not good for the supporting leg knee. Now that you're there, if you want to extend your left hand high, you can. If you feel stable and the chair's right there, you might loosen your grip. Maybe take both arms high, or please hold on to the chair for safety. And then lower down, your hand down, your foot down. Try the second side. I'm going to move my chair so I don't have to turn my back to you. I'll just flip it over here. You can turn yourself around if you like. Shifting onto the left foot, my right foot comes to my ankle or maybe my calf. Please avoid the knee. And then I'll reach my right hand high if I feel it. I'm holding on with my left hand, and only if I feel stable might I lift my left hand in or up into the air. Find your tree pose, and then let's release it. Good. So we're going to change gears here and come to seated. What I'd like you to do perhaps is just come to seated on your chair. And as you pause to sit on your chair, let me ask you to bring your hands to prayer position in front of your heart. Take a moment to look down and separate your feet the same distance apart as your knees. And then close your eyes for a moment. With your hands in prayer position in front of your heart, I want you to bring to mind the intention that you set. It began with your heart's desire. What is it that you want for yourself? From there, you expanded it to an affirmation or an intention. In my practice today, in my life today, I will cultivate peace, I will be peaceful, or whatever your intention was. Try to recall it and breathe it. You now open your eyes and release your hands to your knees or thighs. Let's take some seated stretches. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, simply fold over your legs. Maybe your hands touch the mat, or your chin lowers towards your chest. Just hang out in your version of a forward fold stretch. And then start to come all the way up. And take your hands and hold on to the chair, or anyone feeling like they want to add a little challenge, reach your arms high. Look up, and you're doing it. It's a back bend. Maybe lean into the back of your chair and bend back a little bit. Those of you holding the chair, hold on. Lift your gaze, roll your shoulders down and back. And then come back to neutral. Let your arms hang by your side. Maybe you hold on to the right side of your chair as you reach your left hand up and take a little side body stretch. Make sure you feel stable in your foundation and go only as far as you can while still maintaining a sense of stability. Try to keep your shoulders square with your hips. And then rise up and take it to the other side. Holding onto the chair with your left hand down, reach your right hand up and take a little side body stretch over. Just take a couple breaths here, noticing how it feels to stretch through your body. And then come back up to neutral. In yoga, we do what's called flow or vinyasa. which means breath synchronized movement, also sometimes translated to mean to place in a special way. So we'll move through these seated stretches 3 times with our breath. You breathe in to come to neutral, sitting tall on your chair, and you breathe out to fold forward. Breathe in to come back up to neutral, and breathe out to bend backward. Breathe in to come back up to neutral, and breathe out to stretch over to one side. Breathe in to come back up, and breathe out to take that side body stretch the other way. Inhale, come back up. Second round, here we go. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. I'll take the stronger version. Exhale, bend backward. Breathe in to come up, and breathe out to stretch one direction, side body lateral stretch. Breathe in to come back up to center, and breathe out to stretch the other way. On your inhale, rise up. And exhale, third round, fold forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend backward. Breathe in, rise up. And breathe out to stretch to one side. Inhale brings you back up to neutral. And exhale, side body stretch the other way. Breathe in, rise up. And as you exhale, come back to neutral. And stay exactly as you are. Take 2 breaths, slow and deep. Simply notice, how do you feel? Can you feel the difference? Feels good. Now let's add a few extra seated stretches. You might find that moving away from the back of the chair is helpful here. I want you to grab one of your knees with all 10 fingers and see how close you can bring it to your chest while keeping your back nice and flat, nice and long. Just take a few breaths here, noticing how it feels, breathing slowly. This stretch is wonderful for low back tightness. So if you have some tightness in your lower back, I hope you feel a release there. Let's go ahead and release that leg, place it down, and pick up the other leg, and simply hug it towards your chest. Roll your shoulders down and back. Keep your spine nice and long. And notice if you feel a little release in your lower back. Take another breath, breathe it in, and as you breathe out, lower both feet to the mat. Our next posture is a twist. Twisting postures can be wonderful for your back unless you've been told by your doctor that you have bulging discs. And that's possible and are common, unfortunately, in the lumbar spine especially. It's not that you can't twist, but for all of us, we want to be careful and move slowly into every twist. So I'll begin by taking my left hand to my right thigh and my right hand behind me, holding onto the chair. As you breathe in, lift and lengthen as tall as you can. And as you breathe out, start to turn your shoulders to the right. Maybe you even take your gaze and look all the way behind you. If it feels uncomfortable, unravel the twist. If it feels comfortable, stay with it. Take a few breaths here. Just breathe. And then slowly unravel your twist. Let's try that on the second side. I'll take my right hand to my left leg. You go to your second side. And my left hand reaches somewhat behind me. Breathe in to find length and breathe out to begin to twist. Twisting your shoulders and maybe even turning your gaze behind you. We'll stay here for 3 to 5 breaths, depending on how fast you're breathing. Just breathe. And every time you breathe in, lift and lengthen, and every time you breathe out, you might twist a little bit further. If there's any pain, come out of it. If it feels good, stay with it. And then come back to neutral. Now this next stretch can be very challenging for some of you. If you have any challenges in the hips or knees, you may decide to opt out or try it, but don't be forceful. We're winding down. Be gentle with yourself. See if you can pick up your right leg like you did a moment ago. And then reach down with your left hand and grab your right ankle or foot. And place your right ankle against your left thigh. Be sure you keep your right foot flexed. This helps to engage the muscle in front of your lower leg and keeps your knee engaged. Now you can stay upright. This is called a seated pigeon, like the bird. If this feels easy for you, there's always another choice. You could begin to lean forward. I've been practicing yoga for over 20 years, and I promise you, the more you practice yoga, the more flexible you will be. I used to run long distance races, marathons, and half marathons, and any of these stretches were so difficult for me in the beginning. But they helped my performance, they helped me to avoid injury. So I hope that you will take care of yourself. Do this only as far as feels comfortable for you. No pain in yoga. It feels good to stretch. Let's slowly begin to rise up and switch legs. Do so mindfully. Take it slow. We're winding down. So just like we did before, picking up the left knee or your second side, holding on to the foot, keeping the foot flexed, and placing the ankle of the lifted foot on the thigh of the foundational leg. Go as light or as deep as you did on the first side. So you might choose to stay upright exactly as you are. Or you might like to lean forward to get more stretch. I'm hoping there is no pain in your knee. If there is, please come out of it. But you're feeling a nice stretch in the lower thigh of the lifted leg, in the outer hip region as you fold and stretch. And then come up and slowly release. It's time for our final resting pose, and I'd like to provide you with some options. For some of you, getting down on the floor is not an option. My practice today is inspired by my mother-in-law, Nancy, and I really know that for her body, it's better if she stays sitting upright on her chair and maybe backs up so she can feel more stable, more supported, and more relaxed. So choose that for yourself if you like. Those of you that feel like you want to lie down on your mat, I have a great option for you. Please feel free to pad your head with a blanket if you need a little padding, or take your chair and bring it about a third of the way down the mat. And then perhaps you make your way with control down to your yoga mat or the floor carpet beneath you. As you come to lying down, you might watch and then try it. See if you can bring your legs to the chair. Now once you come to lying all the way down with your legs elevated, find comfort here. And if it's not comfortable, adjust, move. Whatever you've chosen for yourself, make an adjustment so that you can feel comfortable, so that you will feel relaxed. Once you feel relaxed in a position that works for you, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes. And let's take a moment here to revisit our heart's desire. Continue to sit or lie in the position that you've chosen for yourself. This guided meditation will be about 5 minutes. With your eyes closed, I want you to come back to your foundation. It's important to me that you feel grounded, safe, and relaxed. Once you found that space, remember your heart's desire. What did you want for yourself and your practice today? Remember your intention. What was your intention for your practice today? For each of us in our life, we have resources. A resource is a friend or a family member that supports you in your life, that makes you feel safe, that appreciates and loves you as you are. Sometimes a resource is an experience that we've had in the past, a sweet memory that reminds us of how great life is. What resources could you draw from? Maybe there's a thing, a pet. Just pause in gratitude for the resources you have in your life. And then with your eyes closed, let's do a body scan. Begin at the bottoms of your feet. Notice how your feet feel. Without trying to ask them to feel differently. Or maybe you feel nothing at all. Just notice your feet. Now move up your body, noticing your ankles, your lower legs. Feel your knees. Feel your thighs. Notice any sensations you feel in the pelvic region, in your hips, and your gluteals. Move into your abdomen and into your belly. And notice any sensations you feel in your belly and your abdomen. Can you feel your breath? Moving up into your chest, your lower back, middle back, and upper back. Feel the movement of breath and maybe even have an awareness of your heartbeat. Feel your shoulders as they relax down and back. Feel your upper arms, your elbows, and the lower part of your arms. And bring your awareness to your hands. What do you notice in your hands? Your palms, your fingers, the backs of your hands. And then bring your awareness up into your neck, and into the muscles of your face. Allow your face to feel relaxed. Your tongue is heavy in your mouth. Can you feel breath moving in and out of your nose? Notice your cheeks and your eyes. Allow the space between your eyebrows to be relaxed. Your forehead is relaxed. Feel relaxation over the crown of your head and into the back of your head and your ears. Feel your whole body completely relaxed. And now bring your awareness back to your breathing. And any sensations you feel in your entire body, like a witness stepping outside of your body. Just imagine what you feel like. What about your mind, your thoughts? Focus your mind on a joyful thought, on a happy thought, on your heartfelt desire. And begin to wake up your body. Breathe that intention, that desire in. And then open your mouth and let it out. Do that again. Breathe it in. And then open your mouth and breathe out. One more time. Deep breath in. Open your mouth. Exhale. Now wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bring the feeling of a smile to your face. And if you're lying on your back, carefully bring yourself to seated. And once seated, bring your hands to prayer position, right in front of your heart. What an honor to guide your beautiful practice. At the end of our yoga practice, we close with a salutation, a Sanskrit word that loosely translated means the light within me acknowledges and honors the light in you. Draw your hands up to your third eye, the space between your eyebrows. That space is the location of your third eye ajna, crown or third eye chakra, or chakra. And the chakra energy here is that of inner wisdom. And I appreciate that you took care of your body today in our practice and did only what was right for you. If you'd like, you repeat the Sanskrit word after I say it. From my heart to yours, namaste. Open your eyes. I thank you for joining me for our chair yoga practice. I thank you, Nancy Parks, for inspiring the practice. I thank you, Nancy, for inspiring this practice. And I hope you'll do it again and again, as long as it feels good. And you'll subscribe below and check out some of the other yoga videos that we're putting up for you. Enjoy the rest of your day